Hey guys, I just wanted to give you a quick little video to kind of go through what your expectations are each day. That way, if class isn't working for whatever reason for this first week, you will still know what to do. So go to Clever, log in, and then click on Canvas. And this is your Canvas dashboard. Clearly yours is going to look different than mine, but on the dashboard, you should see the geometry class. So you'll want to click on that. And modules right here on the left-hand side is where you're going to find a ton of good information. Basically, everything you need to know is housed under modules. So to start off with, you'll see a little bit about me, your syllabus, your calendar, and the first 2-week plan, which I did email that to you. But the one that I really want you to focus on is the class calendar. If you click on that link, first, you'll see a printable version. So if you are somebody who likes to print it and have a hard copy and check it off as you go, you can click on that printable link right there and it'll take you and let you print it. But this is a live document. So if you click on this class calendar, it'll have the date, the lesson, and the IXL practice and your guided notes. So I'm going to kind of walk you through what a lesson looks like right now. But this calendar is a great place to start every morning to know what you're working on. So like today, you should be working on 1.01 and 1.02. If you want to click on the guided notes from here, you can. All these are live links. So you can click on the guided notes right here and it will pull them up. Or you can go back to modules because you'll need to go back to modules anyways to get to the lesson. So we're working on 1.01 today. So if you scroll down to Unit 1, we're working on 1.01. All right, the notes are also linked right here. So if you click on the notes right there, it's going to bring up that exact same notes that we were talking about. If you want to print them, you can click on the link here or the link from the class calendar. Either way, you can print it. Now, I do want to talk about printing it for just a minute, because the notes are really big and spaced out, but they're also long. Like for example, this first set of notes is 3 pages long. So that might be kind of tough printing with your ink and your paper supply. So I want to show you how to handle that. You would click on print. You do want to print all the pages, but a couple things. First of all, I would, unless you just have a ton of colored ink, I would change it to black and white so you don't have to spend your colored ink. And then go to more options, and where it says pages per sheet, you can change that to 2 pages per sheet, or if you have good eyesight and you don't mind writing small, you can change it to 4. This is actually how I printed it, and I could see it okay and I could write, but that's up to you how you want to print it. If you switch it to 4 pages per sheet, you're never going to have to print more than 3 pages a day, which will be a lot nicer. But those class notes are really important because they're going to follow along perfectly with the lesson. And it'll even tell you what slide they're on. So for example, if I scroll through these notes, like right here, it says slide 2. So you'll be, and I'll show you how to get to slide 2, but that's where you'll be filling in these notes from. And then it says slide 4, and you'll be filling it in. So the notes are really great to follow along with the lesson. So now let's talk about the lesson. So when you're under modules, and you're down here in your lesson 1.01, this warm-up happens to not work today. Usually they work, but after you watch the warm-up, you're going to click on instruction.
Examine the diagram and determine the true statement.
Hang on. So I'm going to go back to the first page. Now the great thing about this program, y'all, I love it so much, is when you go to instruction, you're going to have like videos, you're going to have matching, you're going to have vocab, I mean, all kinds of great things you're going to have in the instruction. So this is going to be fabulous. What you're going to do is you're going to want to watch each slide and use the over arrow to get to the next slide. Let me pause this. It will go through all of your notes and it'll teach you basically everything you need to know. And the cool thing is, like for example, you can pull things. There's all kinds of great practice on this instruction tab. So make sure that you go through it. Now, I would prefer that you hit the over arrow every time because that'll make sure that you listen to the whole slide and then you'll go to the next slide. And if you get something wrong, it'll explain the hint. If you just click on the boxes down here, it won't move in order. Like I could click all the way here. That's not going to go in order. And you might get really confused. So please just start at the beginning and click through the arrow each time you get to the end of a slide. This is going to take you about 20 to 30 minutes every day to get your guided notes and to fill them in with the lesson. But it's really, really, really good stuff, y'all. The teachers have been through the first few lessons and they are great. Really, really great. Super excited about that. So you're going to spend about 20 or 30 minutes doing that. And then after you fill in your guided notes on the instruction tab, the summary is always going to be just 2 or 3 minutes, and it's just going to help solidify what they just talked about. It's going to hit the main ideas one more time just to get it cemented in your brain. Then you're going to have an assignment. Now notice this assignment doesn't have a grade attached to it. Like when you look at the quiz, it says it's worth 100 points. The assignment is practice. So in class today, I kind of picked the wrong one because I wanted to show you that if you pick the wrong one and you click done, it will give you a hint to help you choose the right one. So there's usually like 10 or less practice questions. Today there's 9 practice questions. And as you move through them, you're just going to click whatever you think is correct, hit done, and use it as a learning opportunity. If you get something wrong, take the hint and try again. If you still don't know how to do it after you've tried it a second time, please take a screenshot right then. Whenever you come to a question that you're uncertain of, always take a screenshot and email it to your teacher, to me, okay? We'll be able to go over some of these questions in live class if you have a screenshot. I'll also be able to reply on email if you have a screenshot. Don't just get to a question and not know how to do it and skip it and never learn it. Take a screenshot, let me know, we'll go over it together, all right? But then after you finish the practice assignment, then you'll go to the quiz. And it doesn't actually matter whether you want to do IXL practice first or the quiz first. You can do those in either order. The quiz is always going to be 5 questions long. And this is another situation where if you miss a question or you don't know how to do a question, please take a screenshot of it so that we can work through it together. But those quizzes are grades. You'll have 3 chances to take your highest grade. And then the IXL practice, right now, don't freak out if it tells you that you made a 50 on it. That's not true. But for the IXL practice, you can always, always, always get those links from the class calendar. So remember, if you go to class calendar and you click on like today, here's your IXL practice link and it'll take you right there. So if you click on it, it is a live link. It'll open it up to the exact correct spot and you can start your practice. Now I haven't logged in yet. And speaking of logging in, let's talk about your IXL username and password because you are going to use IXL very often, every day basically. So your username is your first name and your student ID at GA Cyber. And the at GA Cyber is usually already put in there. Let me see if I can show you. Sign in. Well, not for me. But for some of you, it'll already be there. And for some of you, it won't. So just make sure it says at GA Cyber at the end. And then your password is IXL and then your student number, your student ID number. So again, your username is first name, student ID at GA Cyber, and then your password is IXL with your student ID. Okay. If you forget that or you can't log in, shoot me an email and I will help you log in. But you're going to want to do that IXL practice every day. And down here, when you click on this, it's just going to ask you, oh, you can't see it like you're seeing it, but it'll ask you whether you did it or not. And it'll give you your grade, but it might give you 50 right now. Don't freak out about that. So that's your expectation every day. It should take you about an hour. So let me just kind of recap. When you go to your dashboard, you're going to click on geometry, go to modules. I like to check the class calendar first. I like to click on class calendar, know exactly what I have to do. So I need to do 1.01 and 1.02, and then I need to do this IXL practice. So you're going to go to your modules. You're going to want to print your guided notes, probably 4 to a page or 2 to a page, whichever way you want to do it. Then you're going to go through the instruction and fill in those guided notes. Y'all, please hole punch them and like keep them in a binder so that like when we take interim assessments or EOCs or whatever, you have all of those to look back through. After you fill in your guided notes, you're going to practice on the assignment. Again, these are just practice problems. They're not graded yet until you get to your quiz. Now they're graded, so make sure you do your very best. You'll have 3 attempts on the quiz, and then you'll need to complete your IXL. Now, yes, this will take you about an hour, maybe less sometimes, never more. But we are going to be giving you class time this year to work on it. So class time, instead of having a new lesson that the teacher teaches during every class, we're going to kind of be facilitators. So we'll probably do the warm-up together, and then you'll have probably 30 to 40 minutes to go through your guided notes on your own, work through your assignments. If you have questions, you can ask them. We'll go over your questions in class. And then whatever you don't finish in class, you can finish on your own time. But that class time is going to be a majority of work time. So hopefully you'll be able to get a lot of it done during class. So that's going to kind of be what it looks like when you log into live class. We'll go over a few announcements, do a warm-up, and then you'll have the rest of the time to work and ask questions as needed. And so just in case class doesn't work this week, you still need to go through each of these assignments. So it's okay if you get off pace a little bit. We want you to try to stay on pace as much as possible. But by the end of the week, we want you to try to finish through 1.06. So you can work through it at your own pace when you have time, and class time will be kind of self-guided as well. But throughout this week, by Friday, you want to try to finish all of 1.01, 1.02, 1.03, 1.04, 1.05, and 1.06. So that's the plan. So if you ever can't log into class or something, don't freak out. We're working on technology. We'll make sure you guys are squared away. But try to just get into Canvas and just work. If you have any questions, please email me, jstewart@gacyber.org. And that's it, y'all. I lied. That's not it. Over here on calendar, if you do click on calendar, yours is going to look different than mine, but you should see your live classes for each of your classes, and you should also see your assignments that are due. So like tomorrow, you should see the 1.03 quiz. You can click on them from your calendar as well. I don't prefer to do that. I prefer to go to the actual class and go through the module. But I just wanted you to know that you can also get your live classes and your quizzes through the calendar as well. Okay, now I think that's it.